A lot of the times as music makers, producers, beat makers, you name it, we struggle a lot with productivity. Not only is making music, making beats a hard thing to do already, but we also gotta make time to do it. It doesn't just come like just sitting down in front of a computer or in front of a PC and then you can go ahead and make whatever you want. We all know that that is false. And with that being said, today I'm gonna go over a few things that can help you become more productive in your music making abilities or your music making career, or just if you're just at home in a bedroom making beats, but you can't seem to get the right beat or the right track, the right melody, whatever it is, this video might be able to help you out today. But first, let's talk about what to do to stay a little bit more productive while you're making beats. The first thing I like to do every single month and every single week is set up a calendar. If you want to invest in a small calendar or write it on a piece of paper, which will cost you absolutely nothing, you can go ahead and schedule out every single week what you're gonna do, what type of beat or music you're gonna make, at what time you're gonna sit down at your desk or your studio, and honestly even schedule the note that you're gonna make this track in. Believe it or not, it helps a lot knowing already what note you're gonna be in, because then you don't have to waste time wondering around what key you're gonna play. You already have that set in your mind. Setting up a calendar can be very beneficial to you. It can keep you right on track, and you don't have to procrastinate doing other stuff when you know you got something written down and you just follow the plan. Of course, this is totally up to you if you want to follow this guide, because at the end of the day, you can write something down and not follow through with it, but who's to blame for that? The second thing I want to mention to stay productive at anything you're doing or anything you want to achieve or accomplish throughout the day or the week is get off this thing right here. Get off your phone. We do not need our phones for anything. Okay, that's not true. We need our phones. We need our phones for a lot of things. But when you're making music, you don't need your phone at all. I mean, what do you need it for? You don't even need internet, honestly, unless you're using Splice to get some samples. But we'll talk about that later. Your phone can be very distracting. You can lose so many hours because our phones have the tendency to just draw our attention somewhere else. For example, you could be creating a track, making something, and then you grab your phone, you start looking at your messages. From your messages, you go to Instagram. From your Instagram, you go to TikTok. You just keep scrolling and your brain doesn't even know it. And by the time you know it, you already lost like an hour just scrolling through social media, which is a complete waste of time. What I like to do is when I'm making music or trying to achieve something for the day is just put my phone away somewhere else, put it on airplane mode and put it somewhere where I can't reach it easily. That way, where I'm sitting at my desk, I'm not able to reach it right away in case like even if it vibrates or somebody calls, even though it's in airplane mode, it really can't happen. But let's just say something happens, you want to reach for it, because we have this tendency to reach for our phones. It's becoming a habit. Some people are even anxious when they don't have their phones around them, which could be a problem, to be honest. Therefore, don't look at your phone every 5 minutes when you're making a track. It's gonna take you twice as long when you're constantly scrolling through social media. And then on top of that, it could also make you feel a certain way. It could make you feel a little bit bad if you start seeing posts about other people making these amazing beats or amazing music, amazing tracks, and then you feel like you're worthless. You feel like you don't make music up to that, and then it just discourages you, and whatever you were doing, it doesn't match up to like whatever you just saw right now, and therefore you just say, screw it, I'm just not good enough, and it just unmotivates you, which makes things a lot worse. So do me a favor and just turn off your phone, put it somewhere where you can't reach it. Something else I really like doing, and I've said this in other videos before, is using reference tracks and loops. Believe it or not, I was not a big loop guy in the beginning because I thought like, oh my gosh, like loops, I'm supposed to create everything. But then I just realized that really came to my pride, and then I decided to just use as many loops as I want. At the end of the day, an artist or a listener is not gonna care where you got the loop from or who made it, this and that. That all comes to your pride and joy. And to be honest with you, if you can put a loop together and make a nice track around it, that's still your creation. Somebody else gave you an idea and then you just put the rest onto it. It's okay. I really love using reference tracks because they help me out to just clear my mind and say, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly what key I want to make it in. And therefore you just make everything so much easier. I recently found myself using this plugin called Rmc from Unison. And no, they're not sponsoring this video. I already know that I can make a hi-hat pattern, some drums. I already know I can do that. So now that I know I can make that, I just use Rmc to just make my life a little bit easier and not have to think so much. I know a lot of producers are against, like, no, you should make everything from scratch and everything like that. I agree to that to a certain extent, because maybe if you don't have Rmc, like I've been invited to some studios where I can't take my plugins, all of them. I just take like my hard drive and I take some of my sounds, but I can't use Rmc there. So I have to just find a way to, make the hi-hat patterns. That's why it's important to learn those qualities. But if you already know what you're doing, if you already know your way around the DAW, and you already know how to make some hi-hat patterns or some snares, or just do it once in a while, then you don't have to worry about trying to make everything from scratch. You're just making your life a lot harder. And all these plugins that are coming along the way with technologies just advancing and making our lives easier, they're there to put them to good use. So I would say just start using them. So don't be scared to use loops. Don't be scared to use VSTs or plugins that just help you out along the way. That's okay. Now, if you have a big passion to learn music theory and just learn everything from scratch because you just want to do it for yourself, then that's a whole nother story. Go ahead and do that. All right, and the last thing I want to talk about is, and this is something I know a lot of people struggle with, if you're stuck on a track, if you're stuck on a beat, something that you're making, and you can't get through with it and you spend hours on it already, I think it's time to move on to the next thing. What do I mean by that? If you're stuck on a beat and you can't just get the drums right, you can't get the melody right, something is just wrong and it's just frustrating you and you've been stuck hours just trying to figure it out, it's time to start from scratch again. It's time to just save that project, that file, and just move on to the next one. And why do I say this? Because you're just wasting time. Sometimes when we're frustrated and we can't get things right, we're not thinking clearly. Therefore, we need something to refreshen us. We need something else. We need to do something to clear our minds and then just start over. And some people beat themselves up because of this. Like, no, I can't finish this. I suck. I'm not good enough. I have people, DMing me all the time telling me I'm stuck on this track. I can't get my 808s right. I can't get my drums right. Maybe you need to learn something a little bit first and then come back to that track. But maybe the next track you're gonna make is gonna come out a lot better. But if you're just starting off right now, then maybe you should just, take a course from a producer or beat maker that you really look up to, and they're gonna teach you a lot from that. And then you can go ahead and go back to your productions. Everybody has a starting point. That doesn't mean that that's your finishing point. So if you're stuck on a beat, if you're stuck on a track, please just move on to the next one. It's okay. Or maybe you just need to take a break, go outside, catch some fresh air, do whatever you have to do. Don't get frustrated over something that's not really worth it when you can always just come back to it. Not every day everything's gonna be perfect. Not every day you're gonna make the best track. Some tracks I've made that I'm not happy with, but I just still put them out. It doesn't matter. Not every day is good. Not every day you're gonna get a W. A lot of days you're gonna just get L's in life, and that's just the way it is. But you have to keep moving, you have to keep pushing forward, because if you're not, then you're just gonna get stuck somewhere. And it's always better to take at least a baby step forward than to take 2 steps backward. As long as you're making progress every week, every month, every year, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get this done. As long as you're always constantly just making some progress in life, that's all that really matters. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys are finding these videos helpful. If you are, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it really helps this channel grow. Till next time, stay blessed and stay positive. Peace.